Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So let's continue where we left off, Bandit 10. So let's take a look at what is in data.text and let's see what is the objective for this level. So it says that the data is base 64 encoded. So base 64 is just encoding. So it's basically binary to text encoding. It's not like encryption whereby there's a secret that you need to know before you can decode the text. So out of the box, Linux servers will have this command base64. So with this command, we will be able to just decode the base64 encoded text back to the plain text. So you can see that this will be the password for the next level. So this is really easy if you know what is base64. So it's very straightforward. It's just encoding. So now let's move on to Bandit 11. So let's see what's inside. Okay, so let's look at the objective for this level. Level 11. Okay, so this is rod 13, rotated by 13 positions. So if we take a look at Wikipedia, it's basically rotating the position of the alphabets from plus 13 basically. So there are a lot of encoders online that can do this like really simple. So if you just Google for rod 13 decoder or encoder, you can then just paste in the text and this will solve it for you automatically. And I also know that there is a one-liner command using tr to basically solve this. So let's try and do that. tr rod 13. So you can see that this command can be easily found. So it's basically substituting the positions for rod 13 to work. So it's like the 13 position. So it's just substituting a with n and so on and so forth. So if we just copy this command, we can then solve this text by piping the output to this command. So you can see that this works as well. So this is just rod 13. You can easily search the decoder online like what I just did earlier, or you can use this tr command to have a one-liner to solve this challenge. So now let's move on to Bandit 12. Okay, so this is again data.text. Okay, so this is hex dump. This is the format of the tool hex dump. So we can see that the file, the binary file is a .bin file. So let's see what is the objective for this level. This is 12 to 13. Hex dump of a file. Repeatedly compress. Create a new directory under temp. Okay, so basically it's suggesting us to create a new directory because I don't think we don't have permission in our home directory. So we probably need to decompress the file. We need to make changes to the file. And we need to revert this file as well. So we need to create files. So we have permission issues in temp as well. So the challenge owner is suggesting us to make a new directory to work in so that we have all the necessary permission. So let's copy the text, the data.text file here so that we can work with this. So the first step, right, is to revert this hex dump format to the actual binary file. So we can do this with xxd command with the -r option. So let's try this. This should then revert the hex dump format to the actual binary file, and we need to output this to an actual file. So let's follow the file name data2.bin. So now we have data2.bin, and let's run the file command to see what are we up against. Okay, so this is a gz file, so we can just decompress it, data2.bin. Okay, so for for gzip to work, the extension has to be correct. So it's something weird with the tool, but let's just follow it. gzip. Is it gz or just gzip? Let's try. Okay, so it's wrong. So it should be data2.gz. Okay, so now we should be able to decompress it, and then we have a new file, data2. So let's see what are we up against now. Okay, so this is a bzip file. So we can just bzip and decompress, I think. Do we have the command here? Bzip not file, bzip2 decompress data2. Okay, so we have so the output is data2.out, so this should be the result. Okay, so this is another gzip file, so we need to, because for gzip file, as mentioned earlier, we need to rename it to the correct extension. If not, the gzip2 wouldn't work. Data2.gz. So let's see. Okay, data2. So what are we up against? Okay, so this is now a tar file. So tar file is very straightforward. We can just decompress it like this, and then we have a new file, data5.bin. So let's see what's data5.bin. Another tar file. Okay, so let's decompress it again, and we have data6.bin. Or is this ever going to end? If this just keeps going on and on, I think we might need to write a loop for this. I mean, like a script to automate this. Let's just try it for a bit longer. Okay, so now we have data6.bin.out, another tar file. Okay, so now we have data8.bin. Okay, so this is gz file, so we need gzip file, so we need to rename it to .gzip. The data8 file, data8 ASCII text. I think this is the end, right? This is no longer a compressed file. Awesome, so we managed to solve it. So it's just 8 tries. It's not that bad, I guess. So now let's move on. This is very straightforward. It's just very tedious to do. So if this is never going to end, we need to figure a way out to automate it. Perhaps just running file, and then if the file output is gzip, we run the gzip decompress. If it's tar, we run the tar decompress. So it's possible to automate this, but luckily this already ended on the 8th try. So let's continue to Bandit 13. Oops. So Bandit 13 with the password that we have discovered. So let's see what is the objective now for 13. Okay, we don't need to get the next password, but you will get a private SSH key. Okay, so is the key in the current directory? This is the private key, right? So we can just SSH into the next level. Then what is the challenge about? Oh, I think it's testing us if we know how to SSH into a server with a private key. So I do this all the time, so this is really straightforward. So let's just copy the content of the private key, and then we create a file locally on our system, and we can just use the key for Bandit 14, right? Give me a second, let me copy and paste the destination. Okay, so this should work. Right, so for private SSH key, you need to make sure that the permission is set to be more restrictive. And for example, right now this file can be read by basically everybody, so we need to make sure that that is not the case. So we need to chmod it to make sure that only the owner of the file can read the SSH private key. So this is something that SSH enforce to make sure that the private key is secure, as in the permission set for it. So let's do this. Alright, so that is level 14 done. Alright, so now let's continue to the next level, level 14. So let's see the objective for level 14. The password for the next level can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to port 30,000 on localhost. Okay, so this is very straightforward. You just need a TCP client. I would guess it's TCP. So you need to connect to port 30 using a client like Telnet or Netcat NC. And then you send the password, and then the service that is listening on port 30,000 will should then return you the password for the next level. So let's take a look at that step. So you can see that. So what this means is that, in simple terms, okay. So imagine that there is a network service listening on port 30,000. So what this challenge wants you to do is to communicate with this service. So you need to first connect to this port, this network port, and then you just have to send the current password to this service. So the program that is listening on this network port should then validate the password that you submitted, and if it is correct, it will then return you the output, which should be the password for the next level. So let's just do this. So we need to know the password of the current level. So we don't know that because we use SSH key to log in. So we need to go back to the previous level, the description. So this password, the password for Bandit 14 should be in this file, and then let's read out the file. Okay, so this is what we need to send to the service that's listening on port 30,000. So let's just connect to localhost at 30,000. This should be the syntax. Yes, so now let's send in the password for our Bandit 14 user, and as what I mentioned earlier, there should be a validation check. If it's correct, it will give you the password for Bandit 14. So now let's try and SSH into Bandit 15 with the password that we just obtained. So this challenge is basically just to test your knowledge on interacting with a network service. Awesome, so we managed to reach level 15. So we should be able to do this with Telnet as well. So Telnet is another network client that is able to connect to a TCP port. Oh no, this is the password. This is the password for level 15, so we should send in the password for level 14, which is, give me a second, let me find it. Okay, which is this. Yep, so you see it will give us back the password for level 15. So you can do this with Telnet as well. So now let's go back to level 15. Alright, so that's it to this video. I will see you guys in the next video for the next 5 levels. And if you guys haven't already subscribed, please help to subscribe and like the video. It will really help out the channel a lot.